Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Titan Preparedness channel. Today's video is a product review. This is the Fire Maple Star X2. If you're thinking that this looks like a Jetboil, that's because it basically is a Jetboil. It has all the same components as a Jetboil without the price of a Jetboil. So, today's video, we're going to be going through the Fire Maple Star X2 and finding out if, number one, it's worth its price, seeing how it compares and stacks up to what I currently have, explaining why I bought this when I already have so many other cooking systems, and just doing an overall review on it. So first and foremost, if you've seen a Jetboil, then you've seen the Fire Maple. This is basically a knockoff Jetboil, but not necessarily a Chinese knockoff Jetboil. You see, apparently this is very popular overseas in Europe, the UK, Britain, British, whatever you call it. Not necessarily in America, right? Jetboil really takes the cake in America. This is popular over across the pond, and it's got the same setup as the Jetboil. It's got the neoprene cover. It's got this interesting little element down at the bottom. So let's do a kind of semi-unboxing, even though it's already out of the box. Again, with the unit, you get the lid, you get the locking handle, you get the neoprene cover, you get this locking fuel canister holder, you get this, and then you get the burner itself. You get a nice little storage bag that it fits in, and you get two other neoprene coaters. So let's talk about size, capacity, carry, all this good stuff. The X2 is a 1 liter pot. It does have markings on the inside for 1/4 liter, 1/2 liter, 3/4, and 1 liter. So you can see where your measurements are. Again, you've got a locking handle, you've got a lid that comes with it. Everything on the table, so your pot, your burner, your lid, your gas canister thing, and then this, which I'll explain in a minute, weighs 1.38 pounds. So it is a little bit heavier, almost double what I'm currently carrying in my current setup. So why did I buy this if I already have a cook kit that is lighter weight than this? Number one, Jetboils. Jetboils are super quick, but they are super expensive. You're talking over $100 for a pot and all of this, or half of this. I'm not a guy that can spend $100 on something I never use. Fire Maple is about half the price of a Jetboil. So on sale, which is when I bought this, Black Friday, it was $50. Normally it retails for $75. Again, $75 is a lot to spend. $50 was a lot to spend, but it's cheaper than the Jetboil, because the Jetboil is like 100, 150, 200, depending on which one you buy. So yeah, you get basically the same piece of equipment for half the price. Reason number two why I bought the Fire Maple is stability. This is my Stanley setup. I've got the BRS stove and then the exact same fuel canister as this one over here. Stanley cup on top. I use this setup during my FTX weekends with the National Guard. The problem with this is it's not very stable, especially when you've got boiling water in here. It's shaking around. It's just not stable. Now, I use this to make the troops happy. I bring hot chocolate, I bring coffee, I bring Mountain House meals. I bring these things for my fellow troops to make them feel better, to make them feel happier about being out in the woods, in the cold, in the wet, in the rain, right? So having something warm to drink boosts morale. I'm all about being, the scout mom type thing. This is not very stable. When you're doing FTXs, when you're out on mission, you don't always have a stable platform. Sometimes we're boiling up this water on the front of a Humvee, on the back of a Humvee, in a LMTV, in some sort of FLA, on the table, on the ground. And this is not very stable. See? Not very stable. So when it's boiling, it's sitting there freaking twitching like this. I'm worried that this boiling hot water is going to tip over and burn the piss out of somebody. Now, being in the medical section, I don't want to create other patients. This is an accident waiting to happen. Again, not very stable. This, on the other hand, right, you got to put forth some effort to knock it over. I have basically the exact same gas canister stabilizer bar for both of these. Does this make it more stable? Yes, but it only stabilizes the base. It does not stabilize the pot that is sitting up here shaking. Obviously, when it's in this configuration, it is meant to boil water. It is meant to, maybe make some soup in here, right? Be used as a big, large cooking pot. This simply comes off by twisting, and then you have this little thing. And this is just an extra pot stand. Now, it's not designed to go with this. It's designed to go with like a frying pan. I don't have a frying pan, but I have this pan. It sits on top of it, right? And you can imagine if you wanted to boil up some eggs using your butane stove, if you had a small little frying pan, it would just sit on top of here, and then you could do up your mixing. So that's what this little guy is. Will I ever carry it? Probably not, but I don't carry frying pans, so it's there. Now the great thing about Jetboil and about all of these cook systems is supposedly all of this will fit back inside of here. So let's find out. We will undo the gas and spray gas everywhere. This will go in first. If you wanted to carry this little ring, it would go in next. Your fuel can would fit in there. Twist the top. And then it does have a nice little locking mechanism right here. So everything's in here. Everything I would need to cook with. Now as far as fuel capacity goes, I put a 100-gram little fuel canister in there with this ring. So that will all fit in one. But let's say you're going out for multiple days, or let's say you don't feel like spending $8 on something like this. Instead you want to spend like $4 on something like this. This will also fit. This is 230 grams, so 2.3 times more than this, and it's about 4 or 5 bucks at Walmart as compared to like 8 or 9 at Cabela's. This will fit. You just have to take this out. It will fit. You just have to get it into the right spot. Push down a little bit. The lid will also go on. Again, locking handle and locking top. So again, 230 grams of fuel, which is enough to last a pretty long weekend if you don't feel like carrying these around. So again, 230 grams, it will fit. You just have to take this out. So for the next portion of this video, we are going to be testing out the speed to find out if the Fire Maple is faster or slower than my current setup. One thing to note with the Fire Maple is it does have a piezo igniter over here on the back side facing me. So when I turn the gas on, I click and it should do its thing. The BRS system does not. So trusty rusty lighting. So let's get these things filled up and let's get them going. So the Stanley Cup does say 12 ounces. They were equal amounts of water. So let's get this one going first, and I've got the timer here, and this Fire Maple is going to be like a second or two slow. Safety indoors using fire. I got a fire extinguisher over here. Safety. Don't do this. Don't try this at home. They are up as far as they can go. This one seems just to put out a lot more fuel. This one seems to have a lower shutoff limit. I should really be doing this outside. Oh well, too late now. So once again, stability. I am so scared to hit this table because of this cup right here. It scares me. And you gotta think, I'm using this around other people. This one, much more stabler. This one, I'm looking at it and I'm just scared of it. We have steam coming from this one. One, three, four. Okay, 245. So I'm going to set this one way over here so I don't burn the piss out of myself. This is cool to the touch. Now, granted, it cooked it at like 134 and then I haven't touched it since, but if it was going to be hot, it would still be hot. This one, I'm grabbing it right here, but right here is hot. Okay, so a minute faster for 12 ounces of water, right? Same amount of water, same temperature water. I don't remember which one I started first. I think it was this one. Maybe a second or two extra. But again, 134, like 250 something. And that was 12 ounces of water. So you imagine you get more water, that distance is going to be even greater. 1 liter of water versus the Stanley is 24 ounces, I think, max. So 20 ounces if you're going to be boiling it. You basically would have to do 2 bowls to equal the 1 liter. Granted, 32 ounces, 33 ounces, whatever a liter is. So, it is a minute faster. It was also much more stable. I don't know if you guys saw, but whenever it started rocking, I feared for my life, right? Because this right here, like, there's no barrier, there's no protection, there's no wall. Pot of water starts moving, I'm got nowhere to run, right? And then I'm going to knock over this pot of raw water. This table's not that big. Yeah, I've got a fire extinguisher, but I don't have like super ready-made napkins. That could have easily tipped over and burnt the piss out of me. Not a fan of that, which is why I went with a more stable platform. The neoprene cover. This is doable, right? I am sitting here still touching it while I'm talking to you. It is warm, don't get me wrong, but it's not terrible, right? I could do this all day. Flame size. I did not measure these fuel canisters before I started. I'm not measuring them after. I will say, just from a visual inspection, the BRS, which is, you know, a cheap Chinese knockoff, everyone's got one with their names on it, it appeared to be putting out a lot more fuel because the flames were up on the side. If I didn't have the cup on it, the flames would be this high, right? It was putting out a lot of fuel and it was still slower. The fire maple, on the other hand, did not seem to be nearly as much. It seemed to be more intense. Again, if you've ever used a Jetboil, apparently these little rings in the bottom is what heats up so fast and makes them that much faster. So let's dump this water out, get a fresh 1 liter pot, and see how long it takes. So we've got 1 liter of water in here. We've got the lid back on. I can actually see the water this time. We got our stopwatch going, so let's turn it on and let's get it going. So once again, 1 liter of water. Hopefully this is not too loud. That's a lot quieter than the BRS was. 4 minutes, 26 seconds. Great. I'm good with that. You did see a little bit of a rock, but I'm not worried about it tipping over. The other one, if you saw me, I had to hold it when it got to rocking. 4 minutes for boiling hot water, 1 liter of boiling hot water. There's some fuel canisters, and I even think my BRS for a full cup, which is 20 ounces, takes 4 minutes, 4.5, maybe 5 minutes. This did almost double the amount in half the time. Again, it does come with the fuel stabilizer. You did see a little bit of rocking, but not enough where I was worried like, oh my gosh, I gotta hold it while it's on fire. The fuel stabilizer does work better with the bigger cans. I was having issues with the smaller can, it not wanting to fit in all the holes, it's sitting at an angle. Again, this is on a table, so it's going to slide around. But having this as part of your kit, you can put it in the back of an FLA, you can put it in the back of a Humvee, LMTV, on the ground, and have a more stable platform. So what do I think about it? I freaking love this thing. This is the first time I've pulled it out of the box. This is the first time I've used it. I didn't know what to expect. I'm impressed. Now, I've never used a Jetboil. Maybe Jetboils are 2 minutes quicker. I don't know. But for $50, I am highly impressed by this thing. Again, they have the X1, the X2, the X3. You can read the differences on them on their website. I'm not affiliated. I wish I was, because I would promote the hell out of this thing. But instead, right now, it's just the one video. The neoprene cover. It's warm. Again, it's like holding a styrofoam cup of hot chocolate. It's warm, and you can feel the warmth, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I gotta put this down because it's burning me. I'm sitting here, touching it while I'm talking to you. And my fingers are not burnt. The handle. It's cool to the touch. That's a little warm. The corner piece, metal piece right here, maybe you guys can see it. Of course, that's hot. But this plastic coated handle, not hot at all. Does have a steam vent right here where you saw the steam shooting out of it when it said, hey, I'm boiling. The fuel management system on it, I turned it about halfway on, clicked it on, let it do its thing, and then ramped it all the way up. I'm not trying to simmer with this thing. I'm trying to boil water. I want to boil water fast. I don't want to simmer. If you're one of these professional chefs out here, I don't know if this thing simmers or not. I'm not going to try it for that. The pot stabilizer. Yeah, I spent like 15 bucks on my last pot stabilizer, right? This came with the kit for free. So, okay, $15 value, $10 value, whatever it is. This is going to come in handy during the FTXs, during whatever I have to do. If I were to put this in my bug out bag, this would also come in handy on trail. Let's talk about that. Is it bug out bag worthy? People love the Stanley Cup setup, right? It's cheap, it's efficient, it gets the job done, you can put it over an open fire. This one, I would be worried about putting over an open fire. Neoprene, plastic, I don't know if it's going to mess up the fins down below. So if your bug out bag, get home bag, whatever is encased around this idea that I need to build a bonfire, I need to build a fire, a Dakota fire pit, whatever, a fire hole, yeah, stick with the $15 Stanley, right? You can put this in an actual fire. Me personally, I don't use big boy fire when I'm out bugging out, get home bag, FTXs, right? We're National Guard. We're not out building fires in somebody's field, in somebody's woods during hurricane missions, during tornado missions. No, we're working in the back of an FLA. We're working back in the LMTV. Bug out bags. I'm working out of my bag. I don't want to run around the woods trying to build a fire. If you're going to carry a fuel canister stove, this right here, in my opinion, is the way to go. It was a whole lot quieter than the BRS 3000. It's also more packable. Yes, with the Stanley Cup, I can fit the gas canister stove in it, I can fit the BRS 3000 in it, and it's all in one kit. I can do the same thing with this one with a larger fuel canister, right? I can do the 250 gram fuel canister in here as opposed to the 100 gram canister in this. It's also more water. 1 liter versus 20 ounces, maximum bull. It's also faster. 4 minutes for 1 liter versus 4 minutes for 20 ounces. I like it, right? Again, it's not hot to the touch. 1 liter of water, 4.5 minutes of bull time, whatever it was. It's impressive. So for $50, if you can get it on sale, yeah, I absolutely recommend the Fire Maple Star X2, especially coming from a cheap Chinese brand stove, the E-Tech Cities, the BRSs, something along the cheap lines versus upgrading to a $50 all-in-one inclusive kit. If you're going to carry a fuel canister, carry this, because by the time you buy the cup, by the time you buy the stove, you're looking at $40 anyway. You might as well add 10 and get a better system. Right? The 1.3 pounds is the only thing I would draw back on. But again, I can carry more fuel with this setup than I can with this setup. And for somebody that uses their get-home bag, their bug-out bag, as a vehicle survival kit, as a car survival kit, as a hiking bag, being able to buy the cheaper cans of fuel that last for a long period of time, I'm saving money. So I bought this, now I can save money because I don't have to buy the overly priced 100 grams of fuel. I don't know what else to say. Highly impressed by it. Again, it's made its way over the pond. A lot of people overseas use it. I don't know, maybe I'm one of the first people in America to use it. Maybe, I don't know. But Fire Maple Star X2. It will be in the link in the description. It is not an affiliated link with the company, but with Amazon, so I get like pennies on the dollar if you buy it. If you don't buy it, hey, more power to you. But again, if you are looking for an upgrade for your Stanley cook kit, go with something like this because I'm super impressed by this thing. So, go check it out. Again, link will be down below. That's all I got for today's video. Hope y'all have a great day. T2 out.